Hey everybody, welcome back! Napoleon Bonaparte was one of the greatest emperors of history. He was military tactician, politician, military leader, and emperor of French Empire, which conquered many territories of Europe and ruled over 10 years. Here are the 12 amazing facts about Napoleon Bonaparte. Perhaps the best known rumor about Napoleon Bonaparte was that he was short, but wasn't true at all. Napoleon's height measured 5 foot 2 at the time of his death, but measured was French units, which were smaller than today's units. He was probably 5 foot 6 or 5 foot 7, which would actually make him average height. He was taller than both Lenin and Stalin, which both of them was 5 foot 5, and the same height with the Churchill and Mussolini. In 1801, as a Napoleon's order, there was a fort started to build in Atlantic Ocean, named Fort Bayard, and completed in 1857. Size of 68 by 31 meter fortification, rises straight off the Atlantic Ocean, standing 20 meters tall. Its original purpose was for defense, but it later housed a prison. Another rumor about Napoleon is that he suffered fear of cats, and this one isn't true either. In fact, his wife Josephine often kept cats in home. However, there was a Napoleon who fears of cats, but not Napoleon I, but III, who was Emperor's nephew. Anyway, how come like that emperor who conquered half of the Europe could be afraid of cats? No way. The American Revolution would not have been possible without support from France, who conveyed money and arms to American revolutionaries in order to support the Continental Congress against France's own enemy, the United Kingdom. When George Washington died in 1799, Napoleon ordered 10 days of nationwide mourning in France. Besides the military officer, politician, and emperor, he was writer too. Napoleon published his memoirs and wrote a book about the life of Julius Caesar. Also, he wrote a novel titled Clisson Eugénie, story about fictionalized version of his affair with Bernarde Eugénie Désir Clary, whose sister married Napoleon's brother. The book was never published during his lifetime. After his death, was serialized and sold as souvenirs. During his army's camping places like Russia and Egypt, Napoleon offered a reward to someone who could make a food last longer. In 1809, Nicholas Appert discovered that food cooked inside a sealed glass jar didn't spoil unless the jar leaked. Yes, he invented canning. Appert was paid 12,000 francs in a reward by the French government. After 50 years, Louis Pasteur explained the role of the microbes in food preservation. In 1798, Napoleon captured the island nation of Malta for France while on his way to Egypt. During the 6 days he spent in Malta, he reformed the national administration, created a public finance administration, abolished feudal privileges, formulated a family code of law, nominated 12 judges, established a system of public education, and abolished slavery. What a fast move he did in just 6 days. Under Napoleon's rule, he emancipated Jews from laws which restricted them to ghettos, and he expanded their rights to property, worship, and careers. In 1806, assembly with the Jewish people, he said, "I will never accept any proposals that will obligate the Jewish people to leave France, because to me the Jews are the same as any other citizen in our country." Many of Napoleon's policies and inventions remain highly influential today. While in power, Napoleon demanded a method of communication that will not require light or sound. Night writing was developed by Charles Barber as a tactile military code, but was too difficult for Napoleon's troops to learn, so was rejected. In 1821, Barber met Louis Braille, who was interested in his tactile code during the visit to the Royal Institute for the Blind. They together created Braille writing, the same that is still used today. Beethoven's Third Symphony was originally named Bonaparte and was dedicated to Napoleon, then a French general. But in 1804, when Beethoven learned that Napoleon crowned himself emperor, the composer was so furious that he scratched the name off the title page that it tore a hole in the paper. Napoleon lost many battles over his military career, but one of his most amusing defeats was at the game of the chess played with the Turk and automatic chess playing machine. In 1809, Napoleon played 3 games against the Turk and lost all of them. Napoleon was either delighted or infuriated by losing to a machine, but one fact that is for sure, the Turk was hoax. A human chess master was hidden inside the machinery of automation, directing all the moves. Napoleon considered himself not only a military leader, but a man of culture and lover of science. During his military campaign to seize Egypt, he brought along 150 scientists, engineers, and scholars to survey the topography, environment, culture, and history of Egypt. They published a 23-volume study of Egypt titled Description of Egypt, which contained important and yet unknown knowledge of Egypt and its history. They also discovered the Rosetta Stone, which was become the key to decoding hieroglyphics, which until then they had been completely mysterious. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button.